1-0 has got to go. One man who is there, who's doing a great job of hyping it up, is my old friend Leonard Ellerbe, CEO of Mayweather Promotions. He joins us right now via the Magic of Zoom. Hello, Leonard. Wow, what a background this is. You look fantastic. How are you?
Thank you. How you doing today, Ariel?
Well, I got to say, Leonard, I mean, I'm excited for Tank and Garcia and everything, but you, my friend, are the star of the show. When I saw you at the press conference last month with this new look, this beard, you look fantastic. Can you tell me the genesis of this? Because at first I was like, who's that guy? Who's that good-looking man up there with the beard? Looks nothing like last time I saw you with the goatee and everything. How did this all come about?
2023, got to switch it up. New year, new look. Great vibes, great energy.
And what's the response been?
Incredible.
Yes, yes. They love the silver, right? Everyone loves the silver.
Yes, yes, yes.
And when you look in the mirror, you like what you see? You feel good about
Love
this?
it.
You love it.
Love it.
Oh,
love
my God.
it.
You look fantastic. A little Uncle
Thank
Phil
you
in
so
you,
much.
right? I mean, you know Uncle Phil, right? You've gotten that before, right?
Got it all. Ron Isley, I got it all.
Oh, well, it's fantastic. And I noted that as well. Keep it up. So we got a lot to talk about here. You are there already. I saw you at the Grand Arrivals yesterday. You've been a part of some massive, massive fights. Could you put into words, like, what is the buzz so far? It's Wednesday. Things are ramping up. We got the workouts today, press conference tomorrow. Can you put into words what it feels like in Las Vegas right now for this massive fight?
It's a terrific buzz. And again, this has a Mayweather-ish kind of feel to it. You know, obviously we put on the biggest events ever in the history of the sport. So I know firsthand what a big fight feels like. The fans are pouring in right now. And this Saturday night is going to be electric. You know, once they enter the arena, it's going to be a star-studded affair. You know, and two guys are going to be ready to put it all on the line. And I just can't wait.
Can I ask you about Tank's relationship with Mayweather Promotions? How does it work right now? Does he have his own promotion and you guys help him as well? Can you explain that to me?
Yeah, he has his own promotional company, Gervonta Tank Davis Promotions, GTD Promotions, and I'm working with him.
Okay.
And to continue to do all the things I've been doing, to elevate him to be the biggest star in the sport, and that's what it is.
And is Floyd going to be involved this week?
Floyd will be at the fight.
He will be at the fight. Okay, all right.
Yes, he will be at the fight.
Could you speak at all to how difficult it was to make this fight happen with all the personalities and all the egos and all the obstacles and the politics? How difficult was this?
It was a little difficult. Probably initially, you know, Ryan agreed to everything. He agreed. I give him credit. He agreed to everything. Every term that we had sent over, he agreed to. It was just one thing, you know, it was one stipulation in there. But other than that, and that kind of dragged out because it was a network thing. So, you know, that's Stephen Espinosa's area. And we were able to work those details out. But you know, it was a really good thing for these two young guys to come together. And the timing of it couldn't be better because they're in the prime of their career. And that's very, very important. You know, they're not older. They're both, like you said, sub 30. And the time is now. And that's why it's the biggest fight in all of boxing right now.
It feels like, and correct me if I'm wrong, like Tank got everything he wanted. If like it's on Showtime, right? That's the broadcast. That's his broadcaster. 136, I think, is in his favor. The hydration clause is in his favor. Was there anything that you guys didn't get?
No, Tank got everything that he deserved. You got to remember, he's the A side. Tank is the one that's been, you know, and everyone know what I mean. He's been selling out arenas everywhere, East Coast, West Coast, everywhere we take him, we sell it out. But Ryan also has tremendous star power too. And anytime you're going to make a mega event, you always have to have a dance partner. So again, and Ryan Garcia, he fits that profile. Again, he's a very good fighter, young fighter. He has very good star power. This younger generation has kind of drawn to him. You know, he has his own fan base. He's Mexican American. He has over like 9 million followers. So he's been making a lot of noise. He has several commercials out there. So he personally has done a very good job with marketing himself, thus far to get in this position. And Tank, on the other hand, he's been doing it. He's been doing it at the highest level, and he's been able to do it just not in one place. And that's what being a big time attraction is all about. And I've said all along that, our goal was to make him the biggest star in the entire sport. And he's going to do his job, and we were going to do our job. And fighting Ryan Garcia is just another step in the direction of proving that he's the best fighter that's out there.
If he wins this fight, when he wins this fight, I would imagine you correct me in saying, is he the biggest star in boxing?
No doubt. He'll be the face of boxing. He'll be the face of boxing, no doubt, because this is a huge platform to be fighting on. It's a crossover fight. And traditionally, the diehard boxing fans kind of, get together and support a fight like this. But this fight crosses over in so many different ways because, again, is that this young generation has gravitated to both guys. When you look around, it will be a star-studded affair. I promise you that. And it will feel like a Mike Tyson fight, a Floyd Mayweather fight. So again, you have all the elements of a mega event, and both guys are just going to go in there. And when Tank knocks Ryan out, then he'll decide on what he wants to do next.
When you're the face of the sport, and I don't necessarily disagree with your statement, if he wins, that he becomes that. Obviously, the spotlight becomes bigger, and there have been issues outside of the ring, right? There's one coming up on May 5th. How do you stop that stuff from happening? How do you keep him on the right track so that as his star power continues to grow, it doesn't get derailed by the legal stuff?
Well, just like with any athlete when they're young, just not boxers, you're going to make some mistakes along the way. Especially when you're young, you're rich, and so those are bumps in the roads that happen when you're young. But one thing I will give him credit for is that he's learned from his mistakes early on, and he has a good core of people around him, and he's matured so much in the last few years. He's a great father, and he's just trying to set a positive example for this younger generation coming from the environment that he comes from, that anything is possible when you keep your head on straight and you surround yourself with a great team, and look at where Tank Davis is at today.
One thing I love about you, Leonard, you shoot from the hip. You keep it real, especially on Twitter. I mean, you can get into some scraps on Twitter. Last summer, you and De La Hoya kind of went at it, and you called him a liar. I mean, you called him a whole bunch of stuff about who was the draw and who. How are you guys now? Where are you in the same room as him? Are you working together? How's the relationship?
Yeah, we're working together. We don't like each other, but we're working together. And it's okay. If Floyd don't like him, he don't like Floyd. So it's all that's okay. It's business at the end of the day. And they've done a good job with promoting him. Eric Gomez and him, they've done a really good job with moving his career along. So I get nothing but respect and props there. And it's never personal. It's just business. And I was glad that Ryan made them do the fight. So let's be clear on that. Ryan Garcia made them do the fight because this is not something that Oscar wanted to do.
You don't believe that? You don't think he wanted it?
I know that for a fact.
Why not? Why wouldn't he want this?
Well, because Oscar is a smart guy as it relates to ring intelligence. He understands, and I don't feel as though that this is just my opinion.
Yeah.
It's my opinion on this part right here. I have some factual information on some other stuff, but this is my opinion, is that the fight in the ring, I don't think he thinks that Ryan Garcia can win. That's just my opinion, though.
Okay. And what are the facts?
Well, I don't want to get into what the facts are.
Okay.
But, at the end of the day, it's about the two guys. It's not about the promoters and the managers. It's about the two guys getting in there. And the bottom line is both fighters wanted this fight. And it's the biggest fight in boxing. And oftentimes, young fighters aren't willing to take that risk, especially this early on in their career. I can recall when Floyd was fighting Diego Corrales early on, and it was a 50-50 fight on paper, but we saw the outcome of what that was. It was the fight in the ring was a mismatch.
Mm. No, I understand. I understand what you're saying, and that's what I love so much about this, because these types of things don't usually happen, and they're such big stars. You say that you're able to work with Oscar, and it's not personal. What about with Eddie Hearn? Is it personal with Eddie? Could you do something like this with Eddie?
Sure. I mean, if he had something to work with, but at the end of the day, it's like, I look at his stable fighters. I don't see anybody in that weight class that would remotely be an attraction.
Well,
So
any weight
again,
class,
it's
not
not
just not just the tank weight class. Any weight class. He's got some stars, right? Matchroom's got some stars.
who.
Well, they got Canelo.
Well, that he's really not their fighter.
Okay.
I mean, they work with him. You know what I'm saying? Canelo was already the biggest star in the sport when he started working with him.
Sure. Katie Taylor.
And it had nothing to do with what he had done. They do what they do, and I don't really want to have a conversation about him.
Fair enough, but it's gone very heated with you guys.
It's well, I'll put it this way: I don't play those kind of games, and it's okay, because at the end of the day, I'm gonna stay in my lane and do what I need to do, and I'm sure he's gonna do the same thing. And if there was a big fight to be made, and he had a fighter in a weight class, then I had a fighter, and a deal could be done, why not? It's just business at the end of the day. It's never personal with me. It's never personal.
Okay, glad to hear that. What's the number that you think this could reach on pay-per-view? Can this do above $1 million?
The sky's the limit. This is again, this is the biggest fight in boxing. I don't want to put a cap or a ceiling on where we're going to go. We have a tremendous amount of experience with understanding what the marketplace looks like. We are in different times now, and piracy affects a lot of things, but this is a huge fight, as evidenced by when the tickets went on sale, instantly, this is one of the top 10 biggest gates in the history of boxing.
Wow.
Now think about that for a second.
That is
of all the big mega fights that have been made in boxing right now, today, Tank Davis versus Ryan Garcia is one of the top 10 biggest gates in the history of boxing.
Damn. What could you tell us what the number is?
Not yet.
Not yet.
I'll make an announcement about that at some point soon.
Okay. Is it like 1 to 5, or is it 5 to 10? Where does it rank right now?
In the top 10.
All right. Fair enough. People still send me that clip of me asking you the question at the Mayweather-McGregor press conference, the post-fight about the seats. People love that clip. I still get it. You know the one I'm talking about, when I asked you why there were so many empty seats, and then Dana White said, "Welcome to my world, Leonard." I mean, I thought it was a fair question. No? Did you think it was unfair?
And again, you guys have a job to do, and sometimes you have to ask the tough questions, per se, if that's what it's called.
Sure.
And I'm a straight shooter, so it's like, at this level we're operating at, it's like we know what this looks like and knows what it feels like, and you have a lot of experience with dealing with the media, so it's okay.
It's all, don't take it so personal. Could I ask, is there a rematch clause?
I don't want to get into the details of the agreement.
Okay.
But
why not?
Again, it's going, because it's like to me, I personally don't discuss our business with the public. Now, I don't negotiate with and out front in the public. Other promoters like to do that to generate attention. We don't need to do that.
Yeah.
Because for us, the way we look at things over here is that we do things behind closed doors, and that way there's no way things can get messed up.
Okay, fair enough. I respect it. I saw you say yesterday he's getting knocked out. What's the prediction? What round?
I don't know. It could be early. I was actually watching 3 of his last 3 fights. Late last night, I was watching his last 3 fights. Ryan's a terrific fighter, but there's like certain things that he does that are primed for what Tank has to do.
Oh,
And it takes that kind of eye to understand. It's like Floyd pointed it out to me just like that.
really?
Yeah, and I was like, wow, you're right.
What is it?
The world will see Saturday
All
night
right,
when he
look
gets
at that.
knocked out.
My man, Leonard, you're the man. You look fantastic, by the way. Keep it up. Lovely to have you on. And I hope that I'll see you out there. I'll be out there for Showtime beginning tomorrow morning. So hopefully I'll get to shake your hand over there in Las Vegas. I can't wait. When this was announced, I said, I got to be there, hell or high water. And so we will be there. It's going to be massive. It feels like a big deal. And Lord knows we haven't had a big fight in America. It feels like boxing, maybe since Wilder
When was
and
the last one?
Wilder
Well,
Fury.
not fight. Well, we'll say the biggest thing in boxing in the last 6 years.
Well, I think you want me to say Mayweather McGregor.
There you go.
There it is.
Floyd and my boy Connor.
There. We're gonna get the rematch.
I would love it. I got nothing but love for the UFC and what Dana has done and Conor McGregor. You know, I'm a big fan of all their work and again that was actually the best event that I've ever been a part of.
Oh, it was great.
It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was. The whole week was fun. The whole buildup was fun. Thank you so much, Leonard. Good luck to you and the team. See you out there in Las Vegas. And good luck, of course, to Gervonta, too.
Thank you. Thank you for having me on.
There he is, the great Leonard Ellerbe of Mayweather Promotions.